Hi guys, this is Group 20 and we're going to be talking about Airbnb and economic sharing. Our main contents includes overview of the sharing economy, overcoming the pandemic, and the challenges that lay ahead and future directions for Airbnb to take. So first focusing on overview of the sharing economy. What is the sharing economy? It was first mentioned in 1978 by two guys called Marcus Felsen and Joe Spaeth. They wrote about it in their academic paper called Community Structure and Collaborative Consumption. It can also be called peer-to-peer or P2P business, and it mainly involves exchange of consumption of goods and services. The platform is mainly digital assets such as cars, homes, luxury products can be found there, and the stakeholders involve SC firm, service providers, and customers. The way that it actually came into success is that after the 2008 global financial crisis, it was a lot of high in unemployment. So people were looking for fast or easy jobs. And the sharing economy offered exactly that. And because of the technological advancements, we were able to actually make it into play because the platform is digital. Successful example of the sharing economy is Airbnb. It was founded in 2008. It follows a business model of P2P economy. What it basically does is connects travelers with hosts who offer their properties as short-term rentals. Renters are charged a non-refundable service fee of 14.2% based on the listing. Hosts are charged a fee of no more than 3% for every completed booking. It networks in 34,000 cities and 191 countries. Next, my partner will be talking about overcoming the pandemic.
Thank you, Nipun. So now I will introduce how Airbnb has overcome the pandemic. As everyone can see, the pandemic COVID-19 has had a big impact to the society as well as this economy, especially to the business of sharing economy and hospitality, where humans' interaction is a fatality. Airbnb had to lower its intrinsic value or its assets by 16% to 26 billion, and the business was valued at 31 billion before the pandemic. While the outlook of Airbnb for listing later this year remains uncertain, the company is expected to lose about a billion in sales in the first half of the year. And to minimize the impact of the pandemic as much as possible, Airbnb has adopted some new policies for its stakeholders. For employees, cutting down is the key word. Airbnb instituted a hiring freeze, suspend its marketing, and cut executive salary and bonuses for 2020. Out of 7,500 employees, nearly 1,900, which comprise for around 25%, had to leave, and the ones who stay will be given new roles. For hosts, there is the 250 million host relief fund, which helped to cover some of the pandemic cancelled bookings. However, this can only cover around 25% of what they usually receive for the normal cancelled bookings. A cleaning protocol is also adopted as a precaution against the virus. Booking buffer is a policy where hosts can commit to keeping their home empty for cleaning in between stays. And or moreover, there's also mandatory COVID-19 safety practices. Here, if a guest cancels their stay because the host didn't comply with the practices, the host will not be eligible for a payout. For customers, Airbnb limits the number of occupants and house party is also not allowed. Extenuating circumstances policy offers full refund cancellations, overruling stricter cancellation policies chosen by hosts. A set of mandatory safety practices is also applied for customers, and similar to hosts, the guest will not be eligible for a refund if the host canceled the reservation of the guest because they did not comply with the practices. And besides its stakeholders, Airbnb has also decided to give back to the society by offering at least 1,000 free or subsidized accommodation to medical workers from this March. And this campaign first began from Italy and France.
Following Hang's part, let's move on to the future challenge and direction for Airbnb. Here we can see mostly the change in customers' perception and consumer behaviors, which leading to four key trends. The first one is accommodation, like people are tending to stay in high reputation hotels instead of strangers' house. Next is employment. With the current situation, people prefer doing work remotely, avoiding crowded places. For the demands, with the current situation of countries are closing border and the social distancing, people tend to travel domestic and not far away from their home. Lastly, for preferencing, people will find a similar experience that are available online and also pay more attention to health and hygiene. With that being said, Airbnb currently offers three directions for change, which are business model, new target, and virtual experience. The first one is to stay focused on the core value of the company. Airbnb has temporary pause of service like transportation and Airbnb Studio. They also scale back their investments in hotel and lux. The second one is to target new market and customer. Airbnb is targeting the longer term rental for the one who book for 28 plus nights. With the new campaign, Go Near, Airbnb promote and take advantage of the shift to domestic tourism from foreign tourism. For the new customer set, there are three main sectors which Airbnb should target. First one is working parents needing space to support their kids with at-home schooling. Second one is medical providers needing space to stay near the front lines. Third one is college students booking collab house for remote learning and digital nomads. Lastly, the third one is Airbnb are providing online experience with group or private sections ranging around $22 on average with different themes such as sports, cooking, or writing. All these unique activities are led by one-of-a-kind hosts. With significantly cheaper price compared to Airbnb studios, Airbnb's online experience have become instant success stories with top earners generating over $20,000. And here we can see the online activities through Zoom by host example. Let's let's watch it.
Hello, hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Okay, good to go.
How's everybody doing today?
I'm calling here from Iceland, which is interesting in these times. We are quite famous for spending a lot of time inside. So this is the song from Mom.
Italy! I hope you guys are good. I know it's complicated there.
I was waiting for someone else.
I did about 110 concerts last year in real life, in the flesh, and all of a sudden it just stopped.
8 hearts, 10 of clubs. Boom!
I see one already. Oh, upside down? Okay.
One leg, second leg.
Oh, my God.
5, 6, 7, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 10.
Stay safe. Bye.
So beautiful.
Thank you.
Lastly, we can see that the lesson for sharing economy based on the Airbnb case. The first one is the focused business model. Here, business can survive by cutting back on ineffective and unnecessary investments, focusing on the parts that generate sustainable profits. Airbnb has halted the investment in areas that do not directly support the core of their host community. To them, their original values were about belonging and connection. This crisis has sharpened Airbnb's focus to get back to their special core value. Secondly, targeting new customer segments and needs. There's no doubt that the pandemic will have a direct impact on consumer behavior, especially in tourism, and Airbnb is in no exception. Adopting changes and retargeting is vital for sustainability in and after the pandemic. Lastly, offering meaningful experience. The new normal life is an opportunity for business to make a difference. Here, Airbnb has created a different experience that does not only successfully keep connection with their people, but Airbnb also attracts new customer sets. More importantly, it also generates revenue. And to wrap up our presentation, we have the questions for class discussion. And here's our reference that we used to make our presentation. And thank you for watching.